Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome everybody to the next edition of the XRP Army News. I am honored and thrilled to introduce everyone to Matthew Tangradi. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, you did. You're the first one. That's crazy.
Okay, good.
First one ever.
All right. I'd like, we have a little bit of a delay. So if anyone is watching this and feeling like Matthew and I are a little bit behind each other in our comments, just be patient. The internet is not cooperating as much today. I'd like to kind of give everyone, again, the ground rules of how we kind of do this. I'm just going to have a conversation with Matthew. It's a bit of a fascinating story. That he and I have got some amazing things in contact with each other. And as we get into that, I'm hoping that everyone that is watching this can understand how important and vital and cool it is if we all get out behind the Twitter feeds and get out from behind the YouTube channels and interact and get to know each other better, because I think you guys are going to be shocked when you find out what the things that Matthew and I have in common, and just how outrageous it is that we were able to start a conversation in Twitter due to being in the XRP Army, and the things that we've got in common with each other is just remarkable. So, Matthew, I'd like you to kind of introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are, and just kind of start off, I guess, with how you kind of stumbled into crypto. And,
Sure.
You know, when you first saw it and that kind of thing. And I'll be quiet for a second and let you kind of share with everybody.
All right, cool. Well, hello, everybody. Again, my name's Matthew. So I would say the biggest thing, what leads me to kind of chase things that are going to make me happy, which I ultimately believe comes with money. But I didn't start off life feeling that way. I was adopted. I was in a ton of foster homes as a child. And basically I led a childhood full of a lot of pain, always feeling like there was something in my heart and soul that it wasn't quite fulfilled. I never felt fulfilled. I never felt part of, so basically I grew up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in a little subsection called Roxborough/Manayunk. And I did have friends there. Didn't last very long, though. My mom got sick. My mom had 8 brain aneurysms and a stroke. My father, peaced out. And so I basically got tossed around all these different homes. I lived with like 5 different people by the time I was 11. They all had custody of me at one point. So basically, I started doing drugs when I was 16. Drugs and alcohol. Not so much the alcohol, but a lot of drugs. I was in pain. What I make of it now is that I was trying to fill that void that I, didn't know how else to fill, and whenever I took a drug, I felt so much better. I felt like that's how I was supposed to feel all my life and couldn't. So needless to say, I don't really know what what having a lot of money feels like. So for the longest time, I wasn't really chasing money. I believe that I was above money, that I could live a happy life without money, and really I was just fooling myself. And this isn't to say I did a complete 180 and started thinking money's everything, because I don't feel that way. However, now I have kind of like a more balanced view of money. I know that money isn't everything, but I also understand that money is going to be necessary if I want to live a happy, fulfilling life. It's just kind of like it's a necessary thing. And so I started going on a little bit of a journey. It was about a year ago. I was actually living in Georgia, and I came across something called Sweatcoin. Now, Sweatcoin was my first taste of cryptocurrency, and I really put quotes around that because it is not a cryptocurrency. I just want to be clear. However, Sweatcoin had cryptocurrency dreams. They wanted to take their Sweatcoin and try to get it on a blockchain market, which I realized today, knowing a lot more, is that's not going to be possible, I don't think. However, so Sweatcoin is basically an app that you can get on an iPhone, Android. As you take steps, it adds these sweat coins. And basically these sweat coins can be they can be what's the word? Cashed in, for lack of a better word, for like different things. They have different companies that sponsor them, and you can get their products with sweat coins, blah, blah, blah. Well, in my mind, when they're talking about making it a cryptocurrency, all I saw was dollar signs, you know? So I started like walking wherever I could, walking when I didn't have to, not really realizing that this was not the way I was going to make a lot of money, you know? I just trusted because the company, because the company said that they were going to be making it a cryptocurrency. I just believed that all the coins I was accumulating, I was going to make a lot of money. Well, that's not true. I know that now, okay? Because it's not just, you can't just make something valuable out of nowhere. You have to work really hard at that. There's a lot of technology involved. But I am grateful to Sweatcoin because it got me to the next level of my education in cryptocurrency, which was Pi Network. Now, I'm sure everybody watching probably knows what Pi Network is. I'm sure you've gotten probably a million invites from different people. Basically, Pi Network is one of the first few companies to try to do what's called cell phone mining, or I think it's cloud mining, where basically your cell phone is all you need to mine. Now, I don't believe you're actually mining coins. I think it's like pre-Genesis, where basically they're just your Pi goes up, but it's a virtual number. It's not tied to any real currency. But it was a cool concept. And again, like just like Sweatcoin, I was like, oh my God, this is what's going to make me rich. You know, this is going to be the answer. I told so many people in my life, like, download Pi, download Pi. Why won't you download Pi? It doesn't, you know, it doesn't mess your phone up. It doesn't cost anything. And again, I'm kind of getting to, I have a little belief in Pi, but I really, again, I don't feel like that is going to, I don't feel like that's going to turn out like they promised it did. You know, I hope it does, because I've got almost 5,000 Pi coins. Like, I'm invested, right?
Right.
But little by little, I just kind of started making my way to real cryptocurrency. I downloaded Coinbase, and immediately what I noticed was that there was like hundreds of choices, and I just thought that was the coolest thing. I love like all the different logos that all the different coins have. My curiosity just went aflame. Like, I started really wondering what all the coins were about. All the different, I don't even understand what all of them do. It's just, it kind of reminds me of like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, like how all the different cards and all the different profiles, and just the fact that there's so many of them and they do so many different things. And I know that they're tied to technology that, that I know nothing about. That intrigues me. You understand? So obviously I'm on XRP Army News. I have XRP. I believe XRP, I'm not going to say it's the answer, because I understand that there are a lot of uses for a lot of the different coins. However, I believe that XRP has the most potential upside to it. Not to mention, I'm just fascinated by the people that run the company. I think Brad Garlinghouse, David Schwartz, Chris Larson, these guys are superstars, rock stars in their industry. You know, when you watch interviews of David Schwartz, I'm just like sitting back like, wow, this is amazing. Like, this dude, he can, his verbal fluency is just insane, man. You know, like, just a smart guy. And so when I invest my money, I'm investing in the company and the people that run the company. I don't care about the technological aspects of XRP, because I trust in the company and the people that made it. I understand that I'm investing in something great. You know, I think you invest in people. I'm not smart enough to understand what XRP really is, but there have been a lot of YouTube, and I'll shut up in 1 second. I know we're having a back and forth, just getting my thoughts out. I've watched a lot of, you know, the YouTube videos, the content creators, and, you know, you'll see in the comments that, oh my God, these guys are getting paid by Ripple to tout XRP. Look, I'm a genuine person and I read people very well. And I can tell you right now, all the people that do YouTube videos, they're doing it because they believe in XRP and they believe that it's going to be successful. They're not doing that to get paid. I know that right off the bat, you know? So basically every day I watch these YouTube videos. These are great people who just want to make a lot of money. And most of all, I think the people that have invested the most in XRP, they want to help other people as well as themselves. I really do believe that. And I'm one of those people. And I think you are too, Scott. So basically that's my journey. You know, I just stepping stones all the way to XRP. I think XRP is the best for what it's worth. So
me too. Well, and first off, the first coincidence that that Matthew and I discovered when we began talking with each other is, and I've mentioned this before in other conversations, so I'm not outing myself. My sobriety date is May 22nd, 1984, and so I'm very grateful. Coming up next month on the 22nd. As long as everything goes according to plan, I will be able to celebrate my 36th year sober and clean. That's awesome. And so that was, thank you. It's a miracle, and I'm very grateful. There are not too many 58-year-old guys that are walking around that have been sober that long. So I got into a tremendous amount of difficulty, let's say, when I was 22 and had the opportunity to get myself straightened out. Yeah. And so again, that was one of the first things that Matthew and I found out that we had in common. One of the other things, and I'll mention this to you as well. And again, I hope everyone can understand that you know, getting to know each other, getting to know the stories, and getting to know other people in the community, you just never know who you're going to run into. Well, it turns out I went to a prep school right outside of Philadelphia between Exton and Paoli. And the name of that school was Church Farm School. And in the discussion that I began having with Matthew, where did you go to school?
I went to school at Church Farm School 40 years later. It's crazy. And
so go ahead.
Yeah, so just because I know that, because it's not really that amazing when you first look at it, but all I can say is if you understood the type of school this is an all men's private boarding school. It basically has the tuition of a real college. It's very expensive. You wear a suit and tie to school every day. It is like a world of its own, and people come from all over. You got people coming from Korea, China. Their reach is worldwide, and yet the school is only about, I'd say, it's got 500 kids.
Yep.
So I just want your listeners to understand the chances of you having gone to the same school as me, let alone how you even thought to ask that, is crazy. Scott reaches out to me. He sends me a message. He said, out of nowhere, the only thing he knew about me was I was from Pennsylvania. He sends me a message. He says, "Hey, do you know about a little city in Pennsylvania called Paoli?" I was like, yeah, I went to Church Farm School. And, you know, like, not only that, you know, obviously we're both addicts and alcoholics in recovery. We just found out, I don't want to lay out anymore, but those two things alone, just, you know, when we talk about God moments, that's just me. But
yeah, me too.
Unbelievable.
Yep. And again, that's one of the things, again, that, you know, it makes you feel good. And with all of this bad stuff going on right now with the beer cold, it's good to have good feelings that you can say, oh, okay, good. I'm glad, you know, God's hanging out and looks like it's all going to be okay. So, yeah, it's Dr. Schreiner was the headmaster when I was there. And I'll never forget that place. We part of what we had to do when we were there, the tuition was decreased a great deal, and it's for Episcopalian families mainly, and they cut the tuition, but at least unless they've changed it since I was there, it's for divorced Episcopalian families. And they wanted to be able to have a place where the kids could go that could maybe get a better education if they were in a bad situation at home, or a better education than they could get in a public school. Mm-hmm. And so going from Banner Elk, North Carolina, and flying up to the big city was quite an experience for me for the 9th and 10th grade. Right. And at that time, they took they had pigs at the school, and they made scrapple out of it, and then sold that to wealthy people around the Beltway for donations to help the school run. So every morning we would all wake up and go to the pig stalls and clean them up as the first part of our day. So they were helping to build in a good work ethic for all of us from the very beginning. So it was quite an adventure, and also a culture shock, because I grew up in the mountains of North Carolina, Banner Elk, North Carolina, population 714. And now all of a sudden at 13 years old, I was exposed to all of these kids from all these other places of the world. So it was quite an experience. And again, it was quite remarkable. Quite remarkable when I found out that we had that in common. Yeah. So, all right. So one of the things, and I agree with you wholeheartedly, that the reason that I'm the most interested in XRP is because of the research that I've done. I was originally stumbled into Bitcoin about 6 years ago when it was about 8 cents, and I was captivated by it. And I looked at everything and read everything I could, but I didn't do anything about it. I just looked at it and thought, man, I understand what they're doing. This is going to be amazing. Then I finally couldn't stand it anymore when it started going way up. And when it got to 15,000, I hit my tipping point, and I bought my first crypto at 15,000. So I've been kicking myself, because if I had bought, and I only bought $1,500 worth, but Matthew, if I had purchased $1,500 worth of Bitcoin when it was 8 cents, I mean, you can imagine multi-millionaire. All right, but that's okay, because everything works out the way that it's supposed to. And I just wanted to agree with you 1,000% that the reason that I'm so confident is twofold. One is the tremendous, unbelievable influencers that we have. And I'm going to mention a couple of them. If I leave anybody out, I'm not trying to do that to hurt anybody's feelings. But people like Brad Kimes, people like Cryptopolis, people like the Digital Asset Investor, the Bearable Bull, Crypto Airy, Lee with SPQR, Jungle Inc., Kevin Cage, the man, the legend with the voice. I have learned so much from these people. And I'm eternally grateful. And I would also like to shout out and then give you a chance to share some more. I would also like to give a shout out on this particular video to I Am Legion, because I know that he is providing a lot of the information to a lot of the influencers who share the news with us. Oh, also wanted to mention Moon Lambo. Love that guy too. Love you, Matt. And so again, the reason that I am so committed to XRP is because, just like you, Matt, the company Ripple, I mean, these guys are amazing. A startup in 2012, and now they've got a valuation of over $10 billion with contracts with, I don't know, between 200 and 400 banks. We don't know exactly what the exact number is. Could be 450, whatever it is. The connections that they have with governments, all of that kind of thing. And I really believe that we have got to have a monetary reset, because the fiat system is doomed. There's no way that we can crawl out of this debt. We just recently went over $24 trillion in debt in the United States, but the real bad number is on the lower right-hand side of that debt clock, $132 trillion of unfunded liabilities. Now, how is the U.S. government going to get out of that? They're not. We have got to have some kind of a reset. And I believe personally it's going to end up being with the IMF and their SDR that they're going to allocate out to all of the countries, flip the switch, have a reset, and we're off to the races. Wow. So that was me and my little bit of a rant. So now I'll turn it back over to you and share what you'd like to say again.
No, that's okay. And I just want to make it clear to all your viewers, like that little rant you just went on, like, I can't do that. I don't know a lot about how this stuff works. And I just want to be clear. I am not an expert in any regard. One of the names that I do want to shout out, one of the YouTube content creators, is XRP Chiz. I think that's how you say it.
Yes.
Above all, man, his excitement, and just what he brings to the table in terms of energy levels is amazing. And just, in a broad way, I do appreciate what these people do, because you know what? They already have it figured out that XRP is the right investment for them. So what could they do? They could just take their investment and stay, keep their trap shut and wait to get rich. You know what I mean? But they don't do that. And I'm not saying that it doesn't totally benefit them to do YouTube videos. I understand it does. But just the amount of value that these people bring to our lives, like, I would not have been so sure about XRP if I had not watched all these videos, And when you talk about a ripple effect, I love using that term. One, because I'm invested in Ripple, but two, like, those videos change thousands of people's lives. You know what I mean? Like, I have the confidence to invest my money into XRP because these people made it very clear it's smart to do so. So I hope these people really go home feeling good about themselves. And my goal is to learn as much as I possibly can to be able to do the same thing. I know, like, whenever I meet somebody, I'm trying my hardest to talk them into buying XRP. A lot of them don't listen, just like a lot of people wouldn't listen about Bitcoin, and look what happened with that, So basically, I follow along every day. I read as many articles as I can. I don't retain a lot of info, but the overall consensus, it's very easy to watch. We're watching XRP climb the mountain peak. We're watching its success every single day. And you can always complain that the price doesn't match the news. I get that. All I can say is I trust that they are doing the right things. I don't think Ripple is a scam company. I think the lawsuit is a stupid thing. I believe those are good people who really want to make a difference in the world, and they have the smarts to do it. So
I agree 1,000%. And just if this has turned into a little bit of a love fest for our influencers, then I'm all for that, because again, I feel exactly the same way you do. They did all of the hard work and the research and have, educated and entertained me daily. And I actually was kind of shocked, because I say that I spend 2 or 3 hours a day watching some of this information, and I know it's not all XRP related, but my stats for last week came up. I spent 10.5 hours a day on the internet last week.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
I think that there's a lot of people that are spending time, and I'm eternally grateful, because I just have such confidence, and because I do believe that XRP is the chosen one. I mean, and a lot of people don't like it because they think it's the banker's coin. And
Right.
I know a lot of, I wanted to give a big shout out to the lifeboats as well. I don't want to leave Sam I Am out. I have absolutely loved his videos. And I also, I don't have any negative feelings towards any of the other cryptos either. I hope they all do well. It's the fiat that is the bad guy in my mind, not other crypto. And I hope they all do well, but I'm not really sure. I don't have the confidence in Bitcoin that I had when I first started looking into crypto, because it's just too expensive and no use case. And I know that we want the Lightning Network to solve the problem, but it's still not here yet. So, and I think that there's a mix of Ethereum, Stellar, XLM, and XRP that are all kind of going to be in the mix. And the other thing is this, Matthew, if you look at all of the money, right? All of the money, there's plenty of room for other cryptos to be doing well besides XRP. XRP does not have to be in every transaction in the history of mankind from this point moving forward for all of us to be happy and wealthy for the rest of our lives. So I'm I'm the most passionate about XRP, but I'm not an XRP maximalist. I just think that that's the one that makes the most sense to me, and the one that I'm the most invested in by far. I mean, 98% of my crypto holdings now are XRP.
Yeah, and you know what? I would say what gives me the most confidence is just recently I forget what bank it was. But or no, it wasn't a bank. I forget the name, to be honest. But we just heard that basically an ecosystem of institutions are hodling XRP. We just heard that from XRP Chiz and a couple other people who echoed that. To me, like, I don't think a bank, and let alone I don't think Ripple is going to hold on to so many XRP. I don't think you're going to hold XRP if you don't believe it's going to do well. You know, and
Right.
for those people that say they're going to pivot away from XRP, like David Schwartz has made it very clear, XRP is a fundamental part of Ripple's, you know, economic plan. They can't just, they're not just going to turn away from it. You know, it just doesn't make sense. You know, I do a lot of investing based on my intuition. With a lot, but you know, just some of this, you just use common sense. There's no reason to be freaking out every time you read you see a bad headline or some FUD. You know, it's just people that want to see XRP fail, and you know, you just got to learn to not listen to that. I know in my personal experience, when I try to buy Bitcoin, or not buy Bitcoin, when I try to transfer Bitcoin to a separate wallet, it takes like an hour. I start thinking I lost the shit. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
You know, because it takes so long. It's
Remember,
like this is not good technology. Yet when I transfer XRP, it's there in 3 seconds. By the time I have the ability to switch my thumb over to the other app, it's already there. So to me, that alone is like, well, which one's doing better? Obviously XRP. It's fast, you know, and I'm all other stuff too, but better technology.
Right, and so. In the 36 years I've been sober, the only thing that I think back on and kind of miss, Matthew, are the mushrooms. Did you ever eat mushrooms?
Yeah, dude. Me and this guy, I swear, me and Scott, we have so much in common. I am a total psychonaut, man. Like, yeah, acid, shrooms, DMT. If we're gonna go there, man, yeah.
Well, when I was in college, I went to Appalachian State, and say hey now to all the Michigan fans out there. So when I was in college, I sobered up halfway through college or near the end of college, but I fell in love with mushrooms so much that I had my own cow, or I wanted my own cow, and we had an amusement park called the Land of Oz at a place called Beach Mountain, North Carolina. And it was a theme park based on the Wizard of Oz. And we got all hammered one night and went up into that place, and they had these styrofoam mushrooms. And so we stole a whole bunch of those things, and I had them in my room in my apartment.
Nice.
So that was of all of the drug experiences and all of the alcohol experiences that I had, the ones that I look back on the most fondly about were the mushrooms. Yep. That was more fun than a person should be able to have, right. Legally or illegally. Right. But it got to a point in my life where it was time to give up the pursuit of chemical peace of mind.
Yep.
And I'm very grateful that happened. But again, and I just brought that up because, again, I don't want our conversation to just be about crypto and XRP and all of that kind of stuff,
right.
But give everybody the chance to be kind of get to know, people as human beings. And that was the reason that I put XRP Army News together, was because I was going to YouTube and then going to Twitter and having to look for all this information all the time. But I didn't see one centrally located place where I could go and just turn on a website and have it all there for me. Sure. So if anybody looks into the XRP Army News website, we've got my favorite influencers. If you click on their icon, it takes you to their latest YouTube video. And cool. Then if you click on their Twitter icon, it takes you to their latest tweet.
Cool.
And I put that website together, my partner and I, so people could have easy access to all of the XRP info that they wanted to look at.
That's
so
cool.
There's a shameless plug for our website, and we're not charging any money for anything. It's just a more convenient way for people to be able to find the XRP content that they're looking for every day.
Yep. And I think you raised a good point there, Scott, that it just goes back to balance. Like there was a time in my life when I first discovered XRP that I would cycle between Twitter, reading the XRP Twitter feed, and then I would go to the charts and look at what the 1 minute and 5 minute charts were doing. Then I would go to YouTube, see if there were any YouTube videos, and I would do this like all day, every day, even during work. It was horrible. So I just want to stress to anybody who's like just discovering XRP or having trouble with like the obsession of like is your money going up or down? Eventually you're gonna want to come to a point where you kind of got to let go. These apps nowadays, Coinbase, it will let you know if the price is going up or down in a significant way. And once I kind of just got to a point where like this was driving me crazy, and I just had to learn to trust the process. I understand that XRP is going to appreciate in value, and then I just kind of gotta let go a little bit and live my life, understanding that I will have all the money I need in the future because I made the right choice in investing in cryptocurrency. But I don't have to watch what's happening every single day. That's just a control issue, So yeah. And that's that, man.
I think it's good for two obsession experts to be able to help everybody understand. Ease back and make sure you got a little balance in your life, because if there's one thing that the two of us do truly understand, it's having an obsessed mind. And it's a dead end. You need to kind of work to have a little bit of balance.
That's right.
So where do you see when XRP does moon, whenever that does happen? And I wanted to mention this for Cryptopolis. It will be on Tuesday. That's an inside joke between Dave and I.
Gotcha.
It'll be on Tuesday. So when that happens, and your life will change, as will a lot of ours. Right. How do you see your life laying out once that happens? What do you feel like you're going to do once XRP moons?
So the very first thing I'll say is there have been a ton of people who, while I was down and out, so many people have provided me either money or their time or their energy. And the first thing I want to do if I ever, get the kind of substantial wealth that I plan on getting through XRP is I want to pay those people back, because they're literally like, I owe my life to some individuals. And if money is the only thing I can give them, then that's the first thing I'm going to do, So I want to make it right with a lot of people who I owe. Second thing is I want to get myself in a secure environment. Right now I'm in a hotel room. I don't have anywhere to go. And that's personal stuff. But I would like to get myself in a space where I feel comfortable, and happy and secure and all those things that a human being needs, take care of my basic needs first. Am I ready to have a house? No, not even if I have money, So to me, there's a lot of growing up to do. And I have this personal belief that I'm not going to see the returns in my investment until I grow up. That's just like a subconscious. That's just kind of like a something I'm holding inside right now that I think is probably true. I'll get money when I'm ready for it. But when I'm ready for it, it'll be about giving back to the world and then taking care of my needs. There's a lot of things that I've always wanted to do with my life that I never could. I'm an ex-gymnast and cheerleading coach, tumbling coach. I would like to open my own gym someday and, get kids in there who maybe never had a good experience with coaches. There's a lot of demented people in cheerleading. I will just say that. And I'm not one of them. So I'd like to open a cheerleading gym and give kids the proper education that they probably will never get otherwise, I would like to get myself a car. And when I say car, I'm not talking about a Lamborghini. I'm a very simple guy. I'll probably just buy a Toyota Camry, get a good insurance policy on it, and that'll be that, I'm not gonna be balling like that. I really am not. And part of me, that's kind of why I feel I deserve the money, because I know I'm not going to just waste it needlessly, And I feel like there's a lot of people in cryptocurrency who talk about wasting their money needlessly. It's like, dude, have you learned nothing? Like, the people that are rich do that, and you don't want to. I thought you didn't want to be like them. I thought, you wanted money for different reasons. Like, we should all kind of, I think, check our intentions. You know what, Scott? Asking me this question, I haven't really thought too far ahead of like what I would do with that money. Something to think about. But the first thing that pops in my head is take care of other people. And I'm gonna try to remember that, because when it starts happening and that excitement starts coming through, it's like I'm gonna need to remember that. Like it's about other people first.
I'm glad you brought that up, Matthew, because it reminded me of another one of the people that I've met. Is Jerry Hall, and he is helping everyone kind of begin to think about what you may want to do, because I've only made one personal video. I kind of like other people, OPC, other people's content.
Nice.
But I did make a video about giving people a chance to kind of slow down and take a breath and think about what you would do after this moons. Because if not, then you're going to end up in the lottery winner syndrome. And 3 to 5 years after people win the lottery, they end up bankrupt. And so I think that it's a positive thing that we've got to pause here before XRP moons, to give people the chance, to think things through, because there's a real strong difference between enthusiasm and stupidity.
That's
right. Think about what's getting ready to happen and plan it out logically, because if you don't, when XRP moons 5 years later, your people are going to end up broke again.
That's right.
But if anybody is checked out or hasn't checked out Jerry Hall and what he's up to, that's a really good thing. And I also wanted to give a mention of I Trust Capital. DAI and Brad talk about them from time to time. I took them up on investigating it after I heard them talk about it. And they have a free consultation if you want to get on the phone with them. I talked to a great guy named Blake, and he explained to me the benefits of a Roth IRA, and I took advantage of it. And 5 years from now, any of the gains that I have in that Roth IRA, I'll be able to withdraw everything tax-free.
Cool.
So that is a big benefit. So I would encourage anyone to look into I Trust Capital and do your research and get on the phone and talk to Blake. Just absolutely fantastic guys, and they've got something really good for people. And I encourage people to investigate it and check it out.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, you've obviously done a lot more thinking ahead than I have. So much of my story just has to do with being impulsive. And, I will say that once I discovered cryptocurrency, my ability to think about the future ramped up a lot. Like I was just kind of like an impulsive little boy. Whenever I had money, it would go right out of my pocket. And I wasted so much money thinking about what kind of money I would have right now if I'd put it in crypto. It kills me. But, you can't live in regret. But, it's
true.
It's taught me a lot of things. It's taught me patience. Like I understand that XRP is not going to moon maybe on Tuesday, like you said, but the chances of it actually happening are probably really slim in the next couple months. So, who knows? You just don't know. And that's the thing to it. That's what's exciting about it, because anything could happen in this space, It's taught me patience. True. It's taught me respect for the dollar, respect for value. It's just so many things, man. So I like when I'm in cryptocurrency, it's not a greedy inclination. There's a lot of positive things that it can teach you, and you wouldn't necessarily think so at first glance. But the risk taking is definitely worth it, and we do take risks every time we hit the button. But yeah, so it's a great thing.
So one other thing that I wanted to ask you, Matthew, is and again, one of the purposes of what I'm doing is looking for people in the XRP army, the rank and file, and the influencers as well, because when I'm watching 2 or 3 hours worth of videos a day, I just kind of felt like that the news is great, and I enjoy it, and I can't wait. Every day I wake up and I know I've got, Brad's going to do a live stream at noon and 10 on Friday, and I know he's going to put out a couple of shorter other videos. And I know DAI is going to put out another video, and I know Jungle Link's going to put out another video. And I know when I wake up every morning that the Bearable Bull has already got one up, 10 or 12 minutes. I just need to go to YouTube and find it. Yep. And my girlfriend absolutely loves two, at least their voices. She doesn't really get into it all that much, but she absolutely loves the Bearable Bull, and she absolutely loves Scott with Love for Crypto. And cool. I again wanted to give a shout out to Boo Boo, Mac Attack, and Scott with Love for Crypto, who did interviews with me. But I felt like that people like who they are alike. And I also felt like that if I'm interested in it, there's probably other people out there that are interested in it too. And I felt like that there was a place and a space for what we're doing. I think you have a need to be able to share what you think about all this stuff. Not just we hear the news from the influencers all the time, but I created this platform to be able to give people in the Army, just the rank and file, the opportunity and the space to share what they think. And I also look to interview the influencers, because I had a talk last week with Scott with Love for Crypto. Man, what a great guy. We had a great talk. And that was the purpose. And I just wanted to get your opinion as one of the people in the XRP Army. How do you feel about hearing other people's stories from the rank and file, and hearing the influencers not just giving us news about XRP, but letting us have a chance to get to know them? DAI and Kevin Cage and Moon Lambo and Jungle Inc.
Yeah. So I think what you're doing, I mean, I would have never had this opportunity otherwise, if you hadn't messaged me. And I want to say really grateful for it, because this is really cool. I've never been on any kind of podcast, anything like that. So right there, it goes to show you that you're aiming towards everyday people, and that says a lot about you. And I think it's really effective. I've never had a voice, so I think it's really cool. Now, as far as bringing the community together, everyday people, because that's really what XRP investors are. We're everyday people just trying to change our own lives, and putting our money where we think it's going to be best suited to grow. It makes a difference, and to me, like, I'm more interested hearing from everyday people than I am from people who are so far removed from my reality that I could never even empathize with them, besides from the basic common human experience. I think we always have a lot to learn from one another, and this kind of ties into AA and NA meetings. Like, you want to relate to people, not compare, right? Because if I'm comparing to how many XRP other people have, I'm going to go insane. I don't own a lot of XRP. I own as much as I possibly can, and that's it. The couple rules that I learned in cryptocurrency: only invest what you can afford to lose, and never sell, hodl. So what you're doing is you're giving people even more confidence in what they already had confidence in, and that's their investment, right? So you're doing a great thing. You give people a voice, and I think the more you get this podcast, this is a podcast, I'm not sure what to label it as, or YouTube, the more people see this, the more they're going to want to do the same thing. And again, that's that ripple effect. So I definitely congratulate you on what you're doing. I've had a great time. I think you're doing a great job with asking the right questions, and I think that's what YouTubing is all about, is asking the right questions, guiding conversation. And you've done a great job of that so far. So for what it's worth, I hope you keep doing this, and I hope that, you keep pulling everyday people onto your show, because it's an amazing thing to do. This is fun. This is fun.
And Matthew, the one thing too, some of the people that I have asked that have been kind of apprehensive so far, I mean, what would you say to them? Has it been has there been anything negative that's happened since we've had our conversation today?
No, Scott. Unless I could just be projecting. I think maybe what that everyday people, when they, the fact that they're going to be live with somebody where people are going to be watching probably brings up a lot of self-esteem issues, or maybe they just feel like they don't have anything to offer. Like that was my first thought when you reached out to me and wanted to do an interview, was like, well, I don't know a ton about the XRP technology. So what do I have to offer? That's why your podcast though is so important, because you're making sure it's clear. Like, we're just everyday people coming together. I'm not coming at this like some kind of expert, and so maybe, when you reach out to people and give them the offer, make sure they understand, like, they're not expected to know everything about XRP to come on. It's just, and you did a great job of that with me, making sure I understood, like, it's about me and it's about, where I'm coming from in the place. Like, I can only speak on what I know personally. So anybody that's apprehensive, that's a shame, because they're passing up a great opportunity, I think.
I appreciate that. And again, one of the things that I've been, my career has been 35 years in commission sales. Okay. And what I have found is that facts tell and stories sell. And the bottom line, whether any of all of us like it or not, in the XRP army, we're all salespeople. We have a story, and people are going to buy our story. And the more that we share what's going on with XRP and Ripple and crypto, the more we are able to communicate effectively with other people is really important. So share your story, learn, and it's a good thing, and learn. And that's what I'm trying to do, is to give everybody, because, we all don't have the talent of being gifted orators like the digital asset investor, like Brad, like Cryptopolis. I mean, they may not admit this, but they're naturals at it. They're really good at what they're doing. They're very good communicators. But again, what I'm interested in is the stories of the rank and file. When 60 Minutes is one of my favorite shows. I don't know if you watch that, but I'm 58. I would imagine that I've probably been watching 60 Minutes every Sunday night at 7 o'clock. And Matthew, all it is stories. It's stories about people. And again, that was one of the reasons that I put this platform and am trying to come at the XRP army from this angle, is just people care about what every one of us have got to say. Every single one of us has a story to tell. Last week, I talked to a wonderful woman from England, Boo Boo, and I also talked to a guy named Mac, who is a veteran of the Holland Navy. I mean, where else in the world would I have ever gotten the chance to talk to these people? And I believe people are interested in hearing their viewpoint and what's up with them.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I see that. And, you do a really good job of tying it to XRP, because ultimately I think for a lot of people that XRP is what's going to be their meal ticket. So yeah, it's interesting. And you know what? I didn't think about what I was going to say before you called me up. We're just going with it. So I think it's great. And it kind of cements the fact that XRP is for the everyday person. You don't need any special technology or information or education to invest in XRP. All you got to do is download an app and buy with your debit card. It really is that simple.
And one of the things too, Matthew, is that as we're trying to begin to share, and we've all done this, we're all sharing with friends and family what XRP is all about to us, right? But see, the thing is, people like who they are like.
Yeah.
And the more people that I can get to do an interview like this, you know, you're still below 30.
Yeah, I'm 27.
Okay, see, if I ran into a guy who's 27, I want to show him our talk, because people like who they are like. And the
Right.
broader range of stories that we can get out there, the better chance we've got to be able to share information with people who are going to be able to connect with it. In other words, a housewife, right, is going to connect and understand another housewife better than they are just hearing news from somebody about XRP, the latest and greatest.
Sure.
So again, that's why I'm trying to put together, you know, as big a collection of stories as I can, because that resonates with other people.
Yes, sir. And on the inverse too, if you think about, you know, I'm coming from where I'm coming from, right? But then if I see somebody who is like a Navy SEAL, let's say, and they're investing in XRP, what do you think that's going to do to my confidence level? Well, I'm going to go, well, damn, a Navy SEAL is investing in XRP. You know, he's not a dummy, obviously. So it goes all the way around. This is why I think in a more broad sense, like everybody on the planet has something to offer, you know, and this is why racism doesn't make sense. Now I'm going really deep, right? But
that's okay.
You know, people all have a different viewpoint, and that viewpoint is essential to forming a complete picture of life, you know. And so XRP in our use case is basically it's a reason to rally, I think is what you're trying to say. You know, so for you, Scott, this is about rallying people together, and that's a beautiful thing. That's something like that is probably your purpose, you know, because you feel driven to do it. So XRP to me and to you apparently is not just about making money, you know, and I think that's what you're trying to impress upon your viewers, and I think that's why you're going to be really successful. You know, just get away from money for a second. What is it teaching you? And that's what I was trying to say earlier. What cryptocurrency and XRP has taught me is all those things that I listed, you know. So it's really amazing how it's not just about money. And I just want to, you know, reiterate that because it's great, you know. And for that reason, it sounds like you're going to have a lot of viewers from a lot of different viewpoints, and that's a great thing. So,
well, again, I just feel like everybody has a story, and I'm trying to give everyone who wants to share theirs a platform. And I hope that the people that I have tapped on the shoulder and have requested that they sit down and have a conversation with me, when they see more and more of the ones that we're doing, that they'll feel a little bit less apprehensive, because it's just a nice, relaxed, conversational talk, and no pretense. And no gotcha questions. I'm not looking to do anything like, you know, like that. Just trying to give people a chance to say what they want to say to everybody else.
Yep.
All right. Well, listen, Matthew, I think we have covered about everything that we wanted to. Do you have anything in closing that you would like to be able to share with everybody as a send-off note? And I'd also like to invite you back in the future as things progress, so we can get back together and kind of update each other on how things are going.
That'd be great. I don't think I have any words of wisdom. I just, you know, want to say for whoever had a tough childhood out there that, you know, this XRP is definitely, you know, you made the right move. Or if you're on the edge about it, you're not sure, and you're maybe just looking up YouTube videos and you happen upon this one, definitely go for it. You know, I believe that XRP is gonna change my life for the better, you know, and there's a lot of reason to believe that if you just do your own research. So with that, Scott, I really appreciate you having me on. I think you're a great guy and a great program. And hello to whoever's out there watching. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Matthew, and we'll sign off now. And remember, and I have to do it this way, my hand won't work without separating it.
Nice.
This is my friend Scott with Love for Crypto. Live long and hodl. We love crypto. We love you. And take care, everyone.
Cool. Bye, guys.